Hey guys, Kevin here to bring you a brand new video where today we're going to be doing day 26 of Horror October. And the film that we're going to be talking about today is a brand new film called Hypnotic that literally just came out today, and I watched it like late last night at like 4 a.m. But I'm happy to be able to give a nice early review for you on this because I was anticipating this, and I was like, it'll be really cool to like see a film the moment that it comes out. But this movie is kind of good. I mean, it's got some issues with it. So the thing about this is that this is a movie about like basically like a hypnotist who's like a villain. He's like a therapist, but he uses like hypnotherapy, and he becomes like the villain of this story. And a lot of this that happens with this guy is just like very predictable. There's nothing like super like surprising going on here. It's kind of just like, yep, he's the villain. Okay, we get it. And a lot of those beats just play out in kind of a boring way. And it also reminds me of Kilgrave from Jessica Jones, because literally it's like, he like takes control of someone and just tells them what to do, and they do it. That's literally Kilgrave from Jessica Jones. It is painted in sort of a different light from that, though, because it's like a psychologist and he's like exploring your mind. And there's some interesting like details around this about like how the mind works, how what goes on in your subconscious is different from like your ego, and like how you interact is different in your subconscious. So like hypnosis basically like unlocks the subconscious, and like that just like takes over. So like there's an interesting dynamic here with like what it does with hypnosis basically. But I will say, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, because like this movie is basically like implying that like, okay, if you can just hypnotize someone once, if you can like do something to hypnotize them, then you can just have them at your control at any like moment and just command them to do anything. Like, okay, dude, like that is definitely not how that works. That is like really OP. Hypnosis, very OP. And that's the problem with the movie too, is that like it doesn't try to like make sense of this. It's just like, yeah, this guy is really good at hypnosis and he can, make people do these things, and yeah, you're just supposed to like believe it, I guess. So it is a little like BS on that part, but I mean like at the same time, like with this villain, there are some like, details and intricacies about like this villain that kind of make it fun, because of like, you have like his whole background as a therapist, and he had some history with his patients, and he used to have a wife who died, and you know that's okay. That actually brings up something that's really cliche about this, is the fact that this woman who he takes in, Kate Siegel, he basically wants her to be like his new spouse, and that's a little cliche. Like, oh, I lost a loved one, now I need to replace them. Like, okay, like nothing really special going on there. Now that I think about that. And like as it goes on, like it is like an intricate story with like, everything that develops with finding out about this guy, and how they're trying to catch this guy. And you do have like the character doesn't want to believe character cliche a little bit at work, but like in a different sense, where it's like they're not going to tell like the higher authorities or the court, because they would never believe them. So then you have like this detective guy and this woman who are trying to basically stop this guy, because the detective does believe this woman. So they're willing to kind of do this thing on their own and just kind of do what they can to stop it, because they know what's going on. But it is pretty fun to see like how these characters like overcome this, and it's such like a unique thing with this therapist and how he works and how he keeps like getting away with stuff and how does what he does. I think it makes for a fun and intriguing watch, even if there are like definitely some things wrong with it, with like how you can see a lot of it coming and how it's like laid out for you. There was like a decent surprise like in the middle towards the end of the movie that like kind of caught me off guard, which I was like, all right, I applaud you for that. So, it has some moments like that here and there that do work. And I do like Kate Siegel in this. I think she's really effective as this like woman with all this like history around her. She had broken up with her boyfriend, and she sort of had like some baggage already, and then she sort of like goes through this like hard experience of this therapist, and it's unique in that way, and she kind of comes into the role of that really well. And then this detective Rollins guy, he's also his character, his actor's also pretty good in this. I liked him too. So it's decently acted, I will say. Yeah, I like this movie pretty well. It's just a fun, like, easy watch, just to like put it on. It's not too like hard to like get through. So, um, I think people would enjoy it if they watch it. I'm going to give this movie a 7.8 out of 10. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you have, and I'll see you guys in the next one.